Bienvenidos a San Juan, Puerto Rico, and to day 2 of a week around the world with the FCC Choral Ensembles. Today, a group of the city singers, with the help of Dr. Angel Vazquez-Ramos, will tell us about the beautiful island of Puerto Rico and share a lovely song that resounds in the heart of Puerto Ricans who have left their beautiful island. If you missed yesterday's trip to Brazil, I encourage you to go to the Fresno City College FPCA YouTube channel and enjoy it as well. We are having such an enlightening time learning from our friends around the world. And now, vamos a Puerto Rico. En mi viejo San Juan.
During nearly 4 centuries of Spanish rule, the land of Puerto Rico has been the object of 80 invasions by numerous nations and pirates. Some of the major incursions started with Sir Francis Drake's landing in 1595, followed by Sir George Clifford in 1598, third by the Dutch West Indian Company in 1625, and the Britons stand a force to be reckoned with of 60 ships and 14,000 men under the Sir Ralph Abercrombie. Founded in 1521 by Juan Ponce de Leon, who named the city of Puerto Rico, during his second voyage in 1493, Christopher Columbus came along, landed in Puerto Rico, and named the land San Juan Bautista. 15 years later, in 1508, Juan Ponce de Leon was appointed governor by the Spanish government. Puerto Rico now forms part of the United States as of 1917, and now people from Puerto Rico became known as American citizens.
Puerto Rico became a U.S. territory in 1898 as a result of the Treaty of Paris that officially ended the Spanish-American War and dictated that Spain cede the island to the U.S. Puerto Ricans were granted U.S. citizenship by birth in 1917, but unfortunately they were not given the right to vote in presidential elections unless they were residents of the mainland. Many believed that Puerto Ricans were only granted citizenship in response to World War I and the need for more troops. Many Puerto Ricans were drafted and served in World War I along with other 20th century wars. Today, the United States government has finally begun to consider referendums that will make Puerto Rico the 51st state. Should these pass, Puerto Rico will be able to hold elections for 2 United States senators and 4 members of Congress.
These are some celebrities that have come from Puerto Rico heritage. Either their families have come from there or they have come from there themselves. First, we have Ricky Martin. He is known for all of his wonderful music. Then we have Jake T. Austin, known for his acting skills. And then we have Jennifer Lopez. She's a very famous singer, songwriter, and performer. And then last but not least, we have Lin-Manuel Miranda. He is a very famous playwright and known for all of his performances on Broadway.
Now let's talk about how people from Puerto Rico celebrate. Like most countries with a carnival, Puerto Rico has a beautiful carnival celebration, which is called the Ponce Carnival, and it has exotically gorgeous costumes. This is one of the most ancient island festivals and dates all the way back to the 16th century. One of the main attractions of this festival is the Vejegantes, which I have in a picture in this slide. If you're as hungry as I always am, you'll enjoy the Sabaria Sunset Festival, which is a celebration of Puerto Rican food. Sabaria means taste Puerto Rico, and as you can tell, Puerto Rico probably tastes pretty delicious just based on the way that this food looks. Next on the list is Castles Festival. This pays homage to Maestro Pablo Casal, the famous cellist and organizer of the Puerto Rican Symphony Orchestra. Doesn't this orchestra look so beautiful? Kind of makes me want to change my major to orchestral music. Next up, we have the Fiesta de la Calle San Sebastian, which is also known as the San Sebastian Street Festival, as seen in the background of the slide. This brings celebration to the street San Sebastian every January. This actually takes place in the same part of San Juan, which is Old San Juan, which we're going to talk about in our musical piece. And the last festival is El Dia de los Tres Reyes Magos, or the Day of the Three Kings. This, not Christmas, is the day that children typically receive presents, not from Santa, but from the three kings that gave presents to the baby Jesus. Children will place boxes filled with grass or hay under their beds to feed the king's horses. This festival is also known to many in the U.S. as Epiphany.
Here we have included some of the places that means the most to us, the ones that no longer look the same, but still have a special place in our hearts. Though we are unable to recapture that beautiful past, we can revisit it in our memories. This is what we think of when we sing.
Iteration than word by word. So when he said en mi viejo San Juan, I don't know if you know, the old San Juan is just the quintessential example of Spanish architecture. Have you ever seen those buildings that they are all like concrete? They have beautiful wooden doors, beautiful windows, tons of colors, cobblestone streets. If you have seen that, you have seen en mi viejo San Juan. En mi viejo Old San Juan, or Viejo San Juan, is in the northern part of the island, and it's surrounded by it's called El Morro. El Morro is a fort, and that fort truly was meant to defend the island from pirates. So it's kind of reminiscing right there about childhood, love, dreams, growing up. Second paragraph, it says, or stanza, una tarde partí, one afternoon I left, a esa extraña nación, to that strange foreign nation, pues lo quiso el destino, and just because destiny wanted it that way. Pero mi corazón, but my heart, se quedó frente al mar, or junto al mar, en mi viejo San Juan. But my heart stayed right there by the shore, by the coast, right there by the old San Juan. So then he says, me voy, I'm leaving, pero un día volveré, but one day I'll be back, a buscar mi querer, a soñar otra vez en mi viejo San Juan. That's a way of saying to find my love, or to return to my love, to come back and dream. San
En mi viejo San Juan, con tus sueños moriré, en mi alma los dejas ya. Mi primera ilusión y más muestras de amor sobre recuerdos de amor. Una tarde partí hacia extraña nación, pues lo quiso el destino. Pero mi corazón se quedó junto al mar de mi viejo San Juan. Adiós, alguien que queríamos ver de mejor. Adiós, mi Dios alemán. Me voy, pero un día volveré a buscar mi querer, a soñar otra vez en mi viejo San Juan. Pero el tiempo pasó y el destino